I'm Jennifer Prohaska, master's degree candidate in the Educational Human Resources Development program. My experience with the program has been fantastic, as I have gained many tools that I can use to further advance my career. I have developed this portfolio as the non-thesis alternative for program completion. My portfolio takes a thematic approach, highlighting the 3 areas of human resources development: training and development, organizational development, and career development. I then tie all 3 together by highlighting assignments that relate to all 3 areas under human resources development. Training and development is my favorite area to cover. In fact, it was participating in employee development that I enjoyed most within each job I've held. It also had a huge impact on my decision to enroll in the EHRD program. While I've had many assignments that covered the topic of training and development, I chose to select a few to highlight. I chose my ALEC 610 argument paper because it covers Grove's self-directed learning theory. In this paper, I argued in favor of the theory and chose to pair it with Dewey's theory of progressive education. I cited several ways the 2 theories can work together and gave suggestions for a model to begin as early as elementary school. From my EHRD 612 course, I selected 2 assignments: a memo and a reflective overviews. While each assignment was different, they both display understanding of training and development practices. The memo discusses the importance of cultural sensitivity training within global organizations and uses peer-reviewed literature to support the ideas. The reflective overviews are a compilation of 4 different overviews discussing course modules and incorporating discussion feedback from classmates. EHRD 603 provided a compilation of case studies that were designed to enable us to critique and analyze the specific cases and provide recommendations of best practices for proper training. Finally, the learning assignments were fun ways to define training and development. In each, the assignment was to learn something new and document the progress. In EHRD 603, I chose to try to learn to juggle. I failed miserably as I am highly uncoordinated, as the title of the paper reflects. The title is The Uncoordinated Juggler. In EHRD 630, I chose to learn to make jam. As an occasional baker, this was an easier task to learn and rather delicious too. Organizational development is a field of research, theory, and practice dedicated to expanding the knowledge and effectiveness of people to accomplish more successful organizational change and performance. By focusing on broad organizational level improvement, I believe you get more bang for your buck in terms of increasing organizational effectiveness. In EHRD 603, the series of memos continues, with one related to organizational development. This memo discusses the role of millennials in the workplace and the best ways to integrate them into an organization. A project I chose to showcase for this topic also was the EHRD 614 St. Christopher's paper. This project was originally designed for us to analyze the effects of a strategic human resources plan on a high-performance organization. However, this organization did not have a strategic plan. So this gave us the opportunity to offer recommendations for them to create a plan. From EHRD 625, I chose to highlight the 2 primary projects we were assigned: an interview with an organizational development professional, and Energy Transfer Partners consulting plan. The interview with an OD professional was with Mark Jackson, partner and management consultant with Mark Jackson Associates. In this interview, Mark identifies skills, best practices, and concepts needed to successfully implement change in an organization. In the Energy Transfer Partners paper, our group played the role of consultants hired to assist the organization with development based on their recent growth. We made recommendations as to what should be done to facilitate the growth and leadership development that will allow them to adapt to the growth accordingly. I chose two important pieces from my EHRD 627 course. One is a compilation of the two article critique assignments we did, and the other is a paper on organizational coaching. The article critiques were assigned as a supplement to our paper. The 4 articles were reviewed and critiqued were related to our topic of organizational coaching. We critiqued the title and structure of the articles, as well as the research, results, and conclusions. When writing the paper, we chose to research the effectiveness of organizational coaching and mentoring within the organizations. From both assignments, we determined that there is very little literature covering the topic of organizational coaching, and what there is does not provide useful information. In fact, some of the information made that statement as well. Career development identifies the pathways an individual takes during their career. The pathways may be different for each person. The final memo in the series discusses barriers for women in the workplace and identifies how to guide women who aspire to achieve upper-level positions. In the Personal Strategic Career Plan assignment, we were to create a personal strategic career plan for ourselves. As I had never thought to create one, I found it quite interesting. I used a 5-year time frame and assumed I will be continuing employment with my current organization, the Galveston Association of Realtors. From EHRD 613, I selected 2 pieces to emphasize: the Career Development Audit and the Scholarly Paper. The CV audit focuses on assessing Texas A&M School of Public Health's faculty development program. And the scholarly paper compared career paths for nurses with educators to determine if there were any similarities between the 2 paths. Finally, the HRD section ties it all together. There are 2 assignments that encompass all 3 areas of HRD: the metaphor paper and the realtor orientation presentation. The metaphor paper from EHRD 603 discusses my metaphor of HRD, which is a cooking show, and how each of these 3 areas fit into that metaphor. The realtor orientation was a project from EHRD 685 with Dr. Dooley. I developed the presentation to meet the requirement of my organization to provide new realtors with orientation material and a course. My presentation consists of information from my association, as well as videos and information required by the state and national associations. As you can see, this thematic portfolio covers the 3 focus areas of human resource development. I've highlighted specific materials related to each topic, as well as those that encompass all 3 topics. My plans for the future are to hopefully remain in my organization and potentially get involved in facilitating continuing education courses for the realtors. I plan to use the tools I have learned here to continue to help my organization grow. Thank you for taking the time to review my portfolio. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.